scarlet blaze, shifting history. 5 months have passed since the attack on the Emperor, and 1182 nears a close. Though each army schemes, the battle maps barely change. But now, history is about to resume its course.
Today is a momentous day in Fodlan's history that people will mark for generations to come.
Then why do you look so conflicted?
I'm not conflicted, Claude. I'm just painfully aware of how much stronger I need to be. That's why I'm counting on you and the Alliance to make up the difference.
Hey, I've got feeling unprepared down to a science, so let's say we help each other out. If we work together, we can achieve what's best for both of us, right?
Indeed.
I have reviewed the terms, Your Majesty. All that remains is the placement of your seals.
Everything looks good to me. I'm especially glad we found a solution to the control of Murden.
You've done fine work here, Hubert. Thanks. And thanks to you as well, Holst. You know I'm not good at this sort of thing.
I've never known you to shy away from ceremonial affairs like this. But it is the most significant pact since the founding of the Leicester Alliance, so your caution was most prudent. I must admit, I was quite nervous. Thankfully, I managed not to follow it up.
You surely jest. You did your work masterfully, without batting an eye. I am truly impressed that Leicester's most valiant general is so well versed in diplomacy.
Don't be insulting, Hubert. Sir Holst is a duke. A man can be brave in battle and still know how to get things done. Take our Minister of Military Affairs, for example.
A man for whom the term looks can be deceiving was likely invented.
Speaking of Count Burgleys, where is he? I thought he'd be here so we could go head-to-head. We never did get to finish our battle.
I'm afraid the Count couldn't make it, but perhaps you'd consider my bodyguard instead? I'm certain you'll find the challenge to your liking. Is this your first time meeting, by the way?
It is. Well, friend, care to go around with me?
They say this Holst character is the strongest man in Leicester. But is he as strong as the Ashen Demon?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Now that's what I like to hear.
I hope you mean later and not this very second. It would be a shame to get blood all over this nice paperwork.
Yes. All eyes are on us. We must make this a grand gesture and show our soldiers that Adrestia and Leicester have joined forces for a brighter future.
Well, let's get to it. As leader of all the lords and knights who sit at the round table of the Leicester Alliance, I, Claude von Regan, hereby swear this pact. Leicester pledges to work in harmony with the Adrestian Empire and do everything in its power to secure a peaceful future for Fodlan.
By the covenant between the red blood and the white sword that crowns the double-headed eagle, I, Edelgard von Hresfeld, hereby swear this pact. Adrestia pledges to work hand-in-hand with the Leicester Alliance to deliver peace to the land and secure a future for all its people.
The pact is sealed.
And now it is our job to uphold it.
Goodness, look how far you've risen. You're standing on the stage of history. I know you'll do great things. Yes, and greater things still.
Right then, we've got plenty of bright new faces here at the round table today. First, a brand new count ruling Gloucester. and Duke Goneril and Count Ordelia have decided that their heirs will sit for them.
Unfortunately, Lawrence and Lysithea can't join us, due to their responsibilities in the Imperial Army.
I called you here to give you notice. The Leicester Alliance is assenting to the Empire's request and sending troops to the Kingdom front. Houses Regan, Gloucester, and Daphne will be supplying most of the soldiers. And instead of the usual route through Aelel, we'll be invading Fraldarius directly by sea.
You're staying behind, right, Holst?
Indeed I am. Almyra is still an unknown quantity, and we've no idea if or when Prince Shahid might stage another attack. And the same goes for House Ordelia. They've had more than their share of troubles on their border. We agreed that shipping their army away might not be the most prudent of ideas.
And that's all she wrote. You'll find the details in the document you've all been given. I wish the Kingdom would see they're between a rock named Adrestia and a hard place named Leicester and throw that white flag high, but of course they won't. So good luck, everyone. I'm counting on you.
And so, the Alliance has agreed to bring their troops to bear and attack the Kingdom from the east. At the same time, we will resume our invasion from the west, using Aryan Road as a foothold. We'll subjugate the Kingdom's lords one by one as we work our way toward Blathen.
News of the pact will doubtless have spread throughout the Kingdom by now. Provided enough houses see the futility in fighting, we may be able to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. However, that is likely wishful thinking. We should instead expect the worst and prepare accordingly.
You think? Some of them already bent the knee to us once, along with Count Rowe. Wouldn't they jump at a chance to swap sides again?
An idea I am certain has already occurred to the king. Lately, we have been scrambling to reorganize, dealing with an attack by the Knights of Seiros and negotiating a pact with Leicester. And during that time, the winds of purgation have swept across Fargus. In one fell swoop, the king has expunged most of the nobles likely to align with us.
Still, it's us and the Alliance against him, which means we've got the advantage. What's there to worry about?
The concern isn't that we'll lose. It's that winning might come at the cost of too many lives. What an utterly pointless, senseless thing to do. Oh, I find it all so very draining.
Whatever our intent, we're the instigators here. We can't expect the enemy to do anything less than defend their land with tooth and claw.
Speak for yourself. If someone invaded my territory, I'd hand over lands and titles on a silver platter. Especially if I had no chance of winning.
There is truly no other noble like you, Leonard. And perhaps no person at all for that matter. Regardless, we must proceed with caution. When people think someone is after what they possess, they respond with fear, even if the thought is all in their head. In the eyes of the people of Fargus, there is no limit to what evils the Empire might visit upon them.
My father started saying he can't sleep because he's scared the old church is coming to Garreg Mach to kill him. From the sound of my mother's letters, he's really shaken up.
Remember that the kingdom has much coldness. We must not forget to be bundling up like people of the snow. Our Petra is always ready for what lies ahead. I wish I had better understanding of your Fodlan ways, so I could be giving more assistance to everyone.
Don't worry about it, Petra. With all the different factions in this thing, even we have a hard time keeping it straight. This all must seem so backward compared to the way things were in Brigid.
In any case, the battles ahead will be more brutal than any we have yet fought. Keep a vigilant eye out for both yourselves and each other. That is all. Dismissed.
Guess things aren't gonna be so easy anymore. We're under some real pressure to win. Oh, Edelgard. I'm glad I found you. Got a few?
Of course. What is it?
Well, remember how Hubert laid into me after the Knights of Saros raided Enbar? It got me thinking. What do I need to do for you to trust me again?
Nothing. Hubert and I stopped doubting you the moment that business was behind us. You worked tirelessly for me, and I'm grateful for that. So please, there's no need to worry.
Still, we have no idea when those who slither in the dark might try to interfere again. Honestly, it kind of feels like there's more I should be doing to help. Like I'm just floating around without a purpose or something.
Very well. What do you propose?
If I had to pick something, I'd say protecting you would be my top priority. Everyone's got a bone to pick with you, especially the Church and those who slither in the dark, and they won't rest till they have your head. After all, the Imperial Army's not gonna lose if we've got you at the top handing down orders. And I figure Hubert'll stay off my back as long as I put my energy into keeping you safe. Then you can lead us to victory, and we'll all live trustfully ever after.
Perhaps, but I think you're forgetting something. The only way to protect me is by staying at my side, and therein lies a conundrum. Allowing you that close to me would in itself be proof of my trust, without which you would have never earned such an opportunity in the first place.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Still, I can't help but feel like that's what I've got to do to prove myself to you. Please, Edelgard, even if it just means shielding you from your enemies.
Very well. Do as you will. In the meanwhile, I'll tell Hubert... Well, I'm not entirely sure what I will tell him. At the very least, we know those who slither in the dark are able to shapeshift at will. So, in a way, it doesn't matter who I choose to surround myself with. They could just as well turn out to be someone wholly different.
Thanks, Edelgard. I honestly could have sworn you were gonna say no.
Of course. What I truly want to know is why you'd risk your life just to earn my trust.
Do you really have to ask? You reshaped my entire life. Before I met you, I had nobody. I was nobody. But you still chose me of all people to command one of your armies. Now I can't walk down the street without people yelling my name, and I've got a great life surrounded by amazing friends. All of it possible because of you.
That's not true. You would not have earned this post if you lacked the talent.
Maybe now, but before you came along, nobody in the Empire gave a Pegasus's backside about talent. You gave me a seat at the table when no one else would.
Ah, I see.
If you want proof you've changed the world, just take a look at me. Because this gal, she's a whole new person thanks to you. In that case, you should just keep picking commoners like me for all the important jobs. Strength in numbers, right? The more of us there are, the less anyone will be able to complain.
I believe your point to be a sound one, but putting it into action will only heighten our chance of failure. Try as you may to troll a river for jewels, you will most often find yourself hauling up mere pebbles instead.
I get what you mean, I think. Accidentally picking the wrong person could really hurt the Emperor's reputation.
And provide the perfect opening for nobles who want nothing more than for commoners to be kept in their place. An utter disgrace. Here we stand amidst the flames of war, yet some on our side only seek to drag their compatriots down. Their is no rot as fetid as that which plagues our foul aristocracy. It would not surprise me if they breathed noxious fumes.
I mean, it's not like they're literally poisonous.
Are you so sure? Spend an hour in the same room with some of them and see if you don't feel the life being choked out of you. At any rate, it seems you must be the one to plow forward, for the time being.
Come again?
You are a mercenary, Captain, no? Surely there are worthy candidates for promotion among your subordinates. The situation would be far less volatile if any potential appointees came with your direct endorsement.
Oh good, no pressure at all. And if the person I pick doesn't work out?
Assuming they are not wholly indefensible, we would do our utmost to shield them from criticism. Though I suppose if worst came to worst, we would be forced to sever ties with them. And you.
That's cold-blooded, Hubert. I'm not sure I'm up to the challenge, knowing what's at risk.
Nobody is forcing you to pick someone. If you think it impossible, I will not try to convince you otherwise.
Right, got it. I guess in the meantime, I'll let you know if I think of anyone who might be able to handle the job. And oh, let's keep the whole severing ties thing to the real worst-case scenario, okay? You might look the calm and logical type, but I know your emotions can get the better of you sometimes.
A keener insight than I expected. Perhaps you truly are the right person for this task. Quite the eye you have on you.
Thanks. My vision's not too bad, I guess.
Now, if you could only pair it with some intellect, we would have a true wonder on our hands.
You wanted to talk, Monica? This is an interesting choice of location.
I hear you've been going above and beyond lately. That you perform miracles each time you set foot on the battlefield.
Why are you complimenting me all of a sudden? I mean, things have been going well, but...
Oh, I assure you, I have no ulterior motive. You've helped me out a great deal too, after all. Even Her Majesty praises your fine work. She talks about you so much, in fact, I'm more than a little sick of hearing your name.
Huh. She talks about me that much? Wait a sec. You aren't jealous, are you? That wouldn't make any sense.
Indeed, it wouldn't. Why in the world would I be jealous of you? After all, you are merely Her Majesty's subordinate. Your relationship will never transcend the bounds of master and servant. It will never reach the depths of meaning that Her Majesty and I share.
So you are jealous?
In what way? I am merely telling you the truth as I see it. It never even crossed my mind how irritatingly close you and Her Majesty are. Not once.
Yeah, you basically just admitted it.
I certainly did not.
You did. You said you were jealous that Edelgard and I are so close.
The word jealous never traversed my lips.
You sure you're not, though?
Perhaps... a little.
That's what I thought.
But so what if I am? I have always been Her Majesty's most devoted admirer. Hubert is one thing, but you're just a run-of-the-mill mercenary. To think Her Majesty has uttered your name more times than she has mine, it makes me want to scream my lungs out.
You've been counting? Why even keep score? It's not a contest. All this worrying is just gonna stress you out.
It's no good. I still keep track even if I'm not worried. I cannot help it. I can't believe it has come to this. I have no other choice but to ask for your help.
What's come to what now?
I will just have to show you. Come on, let's go. There you are, Lynn.
Oh, Dorothea. How unusual. I didn't expect to see you in a place like this.
It's not unusual when I've been looking for you literally everywhere. You skipped out on the War Council meeting this morning, and 80 was livid.
Yes, something came up that required pulling an all-nighter 2 nights in a row, so I had some sleep debts to repay.
Next time, maybe spare a thought for the person who'll get stuck having to track you down. We discussed important matters in the meeting, you know. There was some kind of accident, and now we're experiencing a delay on supplies.
And now we need to ration our food? It's a pain, but these things happen. In the worst case, we're supposed to be considering ways to forage for food ourselves, right? I suppose I can handle it if we need to fish, but I'll have to pass on tromping through the fields and mountains to harvest wild... whatevers.
Wait, how do you know all this? You weren't even at the meeting, were you?
Because I had someone who attended take notes for me.
Wait, you had someone...
More importantly, you should go to Her Majesty and propose a review of our supply logistics. Considering our current position on the front lines, we should break up the transportation of provisions along multiple routes. It may cost a little more to split things up, but it'll allow us to avoid situations like this. Overall, it should provide many benefits, and the plan will be viable for use in future campaigns too.
Wow.
Dorothea?
This sort of thing really gets your brain going, huh? Still, I wish you'd just go to the meetings and share all of these opinions. People would be thrilled at your resourcefulness, you know.
Oh, I'm quite happy with things the way they are. Attending meetings would only add to my headaches.
You can only run from this for so long, Lynn. And sure, I'll propose what you asked me to, but I'm going to do so in your name.
Wait, are you serious?
Oh, very much so. I couldn't possibly take the credit for something you thought up, right?
I suppose that's fair. I can feel the headaches forming already.
And of course, I'm worried about those who struggle at combat.
Yes, we must do all we can to support them. I'll do my part to watch out for those who need help.
Thank you. We'll do this together.
Support people who struggle with combat, huh? If there's a more perfect job for me out there, I don't know what it is. You ready, Bernadetta? Let's go!
No! Why do I have to do this?
Why do you have to train, you mean?
It's not training, it's weird! This is torture and I'm gonna die!
Hey, calm down. You'll only be fighting me.
You're lying! There are people hiding in this armor and they're gonna attack me, aren't they?
That armor isn't big enough for a person to hide in.
You don't know that! I could absolutely hide inside one.
I mean, yeah, okay. You probably could.
See? I was right! Wait, this isn't the time for me to worry about that! The fact you're plotting against me is the issue here! Why do you hate me?
Look, Edelgard said we need to help people who struggle with fighting, all right? I'm just trying to put that into action.
Nah! You're gonna take me out with a surprise attack from the darkness! I know your game!
And how would I attack you from the darkness when we're standing in the middle of the training grounds in broad daylight? You think all these people walking by would see me try to murder you or whatever and just keep going?
No. They're watching me. I'm sure of it. Your armor is staring at me. Nope! That's it! I'm out of here! I'm going home to enjoy a life of freedom without my father!
What? You can't just run out on me here, Bernadetta! I mean, trying to detect people hidden in suits of armor... That's one of my father's traditional training drills. I don't know any other way to do it.
I don't need your lousy support, so just leave me alone!
Maybe I'm not cut out for this kind of thing.
We've finished laying out where the troops will be positioned, Claude. But, are you sure about this?
Am I sure about what?
This isn't even remotely like a standard attack formation. It's like you're going out of your way to limit casualties.
Not true. The moment the enemy drops their guard, we'll swarm them like a pack of bees.
And if they don't drop their guard?
Then I guess we'll just sit here making angry faces at each other.
Okay, come on. This strategy is not helpful.
Look, just by being here, we're drastically reducing the number of Kingdom soldiers the Imperial Army has to deal with, right? Which means we don't have to kick our troops into action until the Empire has marched further north. Once they're positioned to seize Bladed territory, that's when we'll move.
And if it all goes wrong, the losses could have catastrophic consequences for the future of the Alliance.
I'm not used to you being so worried about the big picture, Hilda. You've grown.
I wasn't going to stay a kid forever, you know.
Apparently not. I'm impressed.
Look, Hilda, I promise you, your fears are misplaced this time. The Empire's already compensated us for any potential losses, and will continue to do so. You don't think I would have signed that fancy pact if they weren't taking care of us, right?
Sure, but are they good for their word? Because I have doubts about that. I want to believe the pact will hold, I really do. But they strike me as folks who won't think twice about sticking an axe between your shoulders if the situation calls for it.
Fortunately, I can be pretty ruthless myself when it suits me. If I don't like something the Empire is doing, it might even be me who ends up breaking the pact.
If that's supposed to make me feel better, it is absolutely not working.
Easy, easy. I'm just throwing out a what-if here. Just promise that you'll always have my back, even when things look their worst, all right? I need you.
Oh, fine. But only because it's you.
A report, Your Majesty. The Imperial Army marches on Western Fargus.
Just when we'd brought peace back to the area, too. We should get ready to provide aid at once.
Rodrigue has already been dispatched to Mateus, along with all the soldiers I can currently spare. And I've sent Annette and Gustav to the Baron's side, though if it's for better or worse is yet to be seen. I don't doubt we'd all ride to the rescue if we could, but that's clearly not possible given the situation.
Agreed. Now that Claude's joined up with the enemy, we can't risk doing anything foolish. If we move our soldiers even a breath away from the northeast, the Alliance will be all over us.
All we can do now is divide our forces to keep the enemy in check and meet their attacks as they come. We never should have let this happen in the first place. But who could have seen the Empire and Alliance forming such a union?
Boar, Are you seriously going to just stand by and watch? They'll overrun us if we don't stem the tide.
Though it smacks of desperation, I'm told the Western Front has enlisted the services of Gerald's mercenaries. They're the same band that carried the battle at Magdred Way, so I hope we can make good use of them again.
Is this really the plan? Burn through mercenaries while we hole up here?
Do try not to be so grim. The Empire has pushed rapid reforms on the land over these last few years. Not everyone was happy to have such changes thrust upon them, and that includes their new friends in the Alliance. The Empire is leaning over the kingdom with such greed that they might yet trip over their own feet.
Do you think there will be revolts?
I'm certainly not going to plan my strategy around it, but there have been whispers, yes. The old ways must die. With that, I agree. But shove that down the people's throats, and you risk breaking the very land you're trying to rule.
Yes. We've grappled for years with the aftermath of trying to enact reform.
Change is a painful process, but rushed change will set the region to rot from the inside out.
I wonder why they're so intent on doing this the quick and dirty way.
It's difficult to say. Perhaps were things different, we might have found some common ground, some harmonious way forward. But I've lost too many I care about to this war. Ingrid chief among them. When I think about what they fought for, what they died for, there can be no turning back.
The Imperial army will soon be knocking at our door! Why haven't Duval and Dominic stopped them?
Baron, you'll never reclaim the title of Viscount your Lord Uncle lost if you go weak in the knees. Letting yourself be pressured into betraying the kingdom will see you cast out of the aristocracy for the rest of time. And your fickle nature would earn you the derision of both the kingdom and the Empire alike. They'll view you the same way they do Count Rowe.
I care not. I've no interest in going to my grave just because I drew the shortest straw.
Sorry to interrupt, but I figured you'd want to know we finished cleaning up the enemy's advanced troops.
Excellent. You certainly live up to your esteemed reputation, Captain Gerald. I've never met a more reliable band of mercenaries in all my years. It's a shame we only engaged you for the one contract. I don't suppose we could convince you to extend your term of service. His Majesty the King has heard tale of your exploits. I could arrange for an introduction.
Appreciate the offer, but that would mean going to Ferdiad. I've got reasons for avoiding that place, so thanks, but no thanks.
I see. It will be a shame to lose you, but I won't pry.
It's nothing against you or the kingdom, mind you.
Then I'll hold out hope we might fight alongside each other again someday. Now, if you'll excuse me, the Baron and I must inspect the camp. Best of luck to you in battle, Captain.
You feeling any better? I have to say, I'm still not used to this new look of yours.
That makes two of us. But it will bother me less once I'm on the battlefield.
If you say so. With the war and the state it's in, the Empire is throwing everything they've got at this thing. I don't know if it's that or something else, but I've got a bad feeling. So watch yourself out there.
I will. You do the same.
Oh, right. I've been meaning to give you this. Never used to be without it. Cuts like a dream. I want you to have it. Swords like this are given to captains of the Knights of Saros, and mine was just collecting dust in the band's convoy.
That's right. Alois mentioned you used to serve there.
That was a lifetime ago. I don't plan on swinging this sword ever again.
But are you sure you want to give it away? It must be quite special to you.
I'd be happiest seeing you get some use out of it.
Thank you. I'll do that.
Be good to it, all right?
We'll soon arrive at Baron Mateus's lands. Once we claim them, all of Western Fargus, roughly 1/3 of the kingdom's territory, will be under the rule of the Empire.
House Mateus was demoted from a viscountcy to a baronage for their part in some sort of revolt. The current Baron Mateus, whose father was the previous lord, is hardly the most loyal subject of the crown. Removing him from the picture should be a simple matter.
However, the kingdom has sent the Baron help in the form of the former Duke Fraldarius, who they call the Shield of Fargus. So long as he holds authority here, we won't be able to break their soldier solidarity.
Rodrigue is Felix's father, right? That's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, I'll fight whoever I need to. It just feels like we're pitted against familiar faces every time we turn around.
And that isn't all. Our reports indicate the enemy has hired Gerald's mercenaries. We know from personal experience how formidable those foes can be.
The Ashen Demon again.
Say, that reminds me. What are you planning to do about that exactly?
We can't keep letting one mercenary mess with our whole army. So just watch. I'm gonna take that monster out once and for all. Or at least slow them down, if nothing else.
That hesitance doesn't suit you. Not anymore. You're far stronger than the last time your paths crossed. Just say the words and I'll give you all the power I can muster. We will prevail.
I possess skill at leading surprise attacks, and Bernadetta would be making a good decoy. If we are all working together, we will reach our goal with much ease.
I get a say in this whole decoy plan, right?
I was only saying a fact, not asking you to be doing it. Please accept my apologies.
Oh, okay.
I hope you plan to leave some of the enemy for me. You are all so skilled. I often feel like the fifth wheel on a well-crafted carriage.
Don't downplay your talents, Ferdinand. You give us courage every time we step on the field.
I'm lucky to be surrounded by so many gifted leaders. With all of you at my side, there is no limit to what the Empire might achieve in the years to come.
Victory to the Empire! Yay!
Come on, Arval, seriously? You can't drag me off to sleep like this when the battle's about to start.
Sorry, but we need to talk. Do you remember the warning I once gave you? Well, I've been struck by a similar premonition now. Something feels wrong. Very wrong.
Last time this happened, the Ashen Demon showed up and nearly sent me to an early grave. You think the same thing's gonna happen today?
Hard to say for sure. But the feeling's worse this time around. Stronger. So if I had to guess, I'd say they're on the cusp of something terrible. An act far more dangerous than we previously imagined.
Well, whatever's happening, I'm just gonna have to stop it.
So long as you don't put yourself in any unnecessary danger, yes. Remember, your death would cut both of our destinies far too short.
Our enemy has placed Baron Mateus front and center, while Gerald's mercenaries are over with the main position.
We have no option but to defeat the enemy commander, Rodrigue. Anything beyond that, however, requires careful consideration.
It will take time to ready a path to the shore. Until then, let us begin by attacking the plain to the west.
The Empire's here! No! I'm too young to die!
Now there's a pitiful man. You're the lord of these lands. Show some pride!
Shore up your defenses!
Yeah, not bad.
Do not permit the enemy to break through!
If we take down the strongholds surrounding the Baron, we might convince him to lay down his arms.
Let us bring this stronghold down efficiently.
Our swift strikes will be shaking the enemy's spirit. I have this.
Good. We've decimated the enemy's forward position.
Take a breather.
Surrounded! I beg you, stay your hand! I happily surrender!
I trust the man roughly as far as I can hurl him. We may find a use for him later.
The Emperor's roster shames the rest of us. I must find a way to distinguish myself.
Continue to the northwest, and finish that path to the shoal.
Ha! I knew the Baron wasn't up to the task. We'll have to forestall the enemy ourselves. Move out and attack!
We have hidden sorcery engineers in this area who are preparing a fearsome magic that will lay waste to our foes. It did not take long for the enemy to spot our engineers. We should stage a rescue if we can. We intend to use their talents to ravage the battle with devastating magic.
Their absence will completely alter the tide of battle. Rescuing them should be our top priority.
I'm all right.
So far, so good. Though I'm prepared for something to go horrifically wrong any minute now.
I'm all for exercising caution, Lynn, but could you not be such a wet blanket?
It appears all the engineers are safe. Now we can truly make the battlefield sizzle.
Now, send your lightning crashing across the battlefield.
What horrible thunder! This sounds like a job for Alois.
An enemy detachment from the rear?
Take them out now. We can't afford the risk.
Good. Alois's reinforcements have arrived. Might you go help our soldiers in the northwest, young mercenary?
Consider it done.
I said I'd hand them a victory, and I'm not going to back down now.
He's at least simple.
Well, would you look at that?
Being reasonable. If we can pin him down, I think he'll listen.
I'm tougher than I look.
I've heard of you, Yuri. Perhaps we can forge a new arrangement that benefits us both.
Well, when you put it that way, I guess I would prefer not to get butchered.
I must stop the enemy here.
We cleared a way to the shoal. We can attack from the east now.
Finally, form a pincer and bear down on Rodrigue's position from both sides.
It won't last long trying to hold them off in 2 directions.
Rodrigue is in danger. We better go back.
Have to convince the Empire I'm worth moving around. Destroy the bridge and cut the mercenaries off from the main force.
The bridge. I can't get back to Rodrigue.
Rodrigue has been cut off. Move in and strike before the mercenaries can rejoin him.
No! This is our chance to kill the Ashen Demon. There's no one to interfere.
I have to reach the commander as soon as possible.
We've come to help, Lord Rodrigue.
And not a moment too soon. Let's show them the steel Fargus is made of.
I'm taking as many of you down as I can.
None of you knaves shall pass.
I will capture this stronghold.
I bear you no ill will, but it was your choice to come within striking distance. I come bearing reinforcements. Now go and help your comrades!
We have nothing to fear from that rabble. Now remain calm and take the stronghold.
That stronghold went down like... Uh-oh! Incoming!
Ugh. That's one beating too many. I leave the rest to you.
Here for me? You must be eager to die.
Let us bring this stronghold down efficiently.
I'll take this place down before you have time to strap your armor on.
The demon is too speedy.
It might be time for this. We are not having enough time.
I'll protect you.
Clear the way!
You got it, Edelgard.
I've got you now!
Forgive me, Felix. Protect His Majesty. And Fargus.
I will capture this stronghold.
I'm too late.
I leave to take care of one backup squad and come back to this? What a mess.
Rodrigue is slain and the kingdom put to rout. Will you and your mercenaries yield?
I see no other choice.
Victory is ours. Friends and loyal soldiers, raise your voices loud.
What can I say? You got us. You rolled right over us and took out our employer. I know when it's time to raise the white flag.
Wait, that's it? You're giving up?
We've faced you in battle many times, only to be bested at every turn.
Yeah, you've pretty much run us out of business by now. It's not easy finding new clients in the best of times. And no matter how good our reputation is, none of it matters if we can't actually win. At this rate, I'll have to stop calling myself the Blade Breaker.
In that case, do you have any interest in working for us?
The Empire?
It's true that your fighters and mine have waged many a bloody battle. But did you oppose us out of principle, or was it merely a business decision? Assuming you have no deep-seated animosity for Adrestia, I would welcome you with open arms. In the Empire, those with talent are given an outlet appropriate for their abilities.
Yeah, you should join us. I mean, by now we all know firsthand how strong you are. And sure, there might be some folks here and there who have reservations about you fighting on our side. But they'll definitely come around once they see how dependable you are.
What do you say? I doubt the kingdom will have any jobs for us after all of this. No better time for a fresh start.
I agree. What about you, Alois? It might be strange, working against your old knight friends.
I've already made my decision. I have sworn to follow this fine captain wherever he goes. If my old allies want to come grill me over a fire, I'll just have to make myself more obscure.
That's a good one.
If I don't slay my foes by the sword, I will do so by the joke.
Well, I guess that's that. Just tell us when we start. I'll go talk to the group and smooth things over. You two, stay here with the client.
Got it, thanks.
Understood, Captain.
Our troops will also want an explanation, so we'd better get to it.
So you're Gerald the Bladebreaker, huh? And I guess that makes you the Ashen Demon. You guys look tougher than a box of nails. No wonder we've had our hands full.
Please, make yourself at home. The Imperial Army is most delighted to welcome you into its embrace. My name is Ferdinand von Ayer. You might say I am something of a leader figure around here, as I essentially hold the entire army together.
Oh no, not more strangers!
Relax, Fern. It's not like you don't encounter strangers every time we take the battlefield.
That's a good point. Wait, is it?
Has anyone ever inspected you for crests before? Perhaps I might borrow you for a brief experiment.
Are you having interest in a sword fight? I am curious to see the stuff of which you are made.
Well, we sure got a lively crew here. Get in there, kid. Let him show you the ropes.
I suppose we didn't need to worry about bad blood. If anything, it would seem Her Majesty's path to victory just grew even shorter. By the way, has anyone seen our mercenary friend?
Sorry about all this, Arval. I know you've only been giving me your powers because you want me to beat the Ashen Demon.
Don't worry about it. It's for the best, right? For all my doomsaying, everything seems to be right as rain. Recruiting Gerald's mercenaries and the Ashen Demon was the right choice.
I hope you're right.
What's wrong? Feeling lost now that you don't have an enemy to chase around the countryside?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the only reason I wanted to get stronger was to surpass the demon.
There's no reason you can't surpass an ally. What better way to see who's stronger than to fight directly by their side?
Huh. That's a good point.
See, no one knows you better than me. If that's what you want, then I'll just have to help you achieve it. After all, I'm your partner in destiny. I'm here for you and you alone.